guys, welcome back. Today I'm super excited because we are going to be doing a full face testing new drugstore makeup. I told you guys a lot of these videos were coming because the drugstore just keeps coming out with new stuff. Anytime I go to like CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, there's like all these new displays and I'm like, oh my goodness, so many new things. So we're going to be testing out a lot of new and exciting stuff today. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you have not already and hit the little bell right next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first things first, for primer, we're going to jump in with this new from Wet n Wild. This is the Hydrating Primer Serum. You guys know me, anything that says hydrating, I'm all about that life, so we are going to try this out. It says that it's formulated with rose water and green tea extract, so it's supposed to help extend makeup wear. It does have one of these little dropper things, so I'm just gonna drop it. 3 little drops there. It's like dripping really fast, so you have to work quick with this, but it smells beautiful. I really like the smell of it. Kind of like strawberries or something, like definitely kind of fruity, but it's nice and it feels really nice on the skin. It gave me like a little extra glow. It does look like in here that there's like a little tiny bit of glitter in this, which typically I wouldn't love that like in a primer. I do think that it gave a pretty glow to my skin, so, and I'm sure that's because of the glitter, and it's not like big or chunky or anything, so I do think that that actually looks really nice. And it did leave my skin feeling a little tacky, which is good to really help our foundation adhere to the skin, so like that, and it smells really nice. Okay, up next for foundation, we are going to be trying this new guy from Revlon. So this is the Candid Glow. They have the Revlon Candid foundation. I know I tried that a while ago and I honestly don't remember if I liked it or I didn't, but they came out with a glow version of that foundation. I know I didn't love it because I don't use it all the time still, so I must not have loved it, but this is a newer one they just came out with. I'm looking at this now and I'm like, this might be a little light, but we're going to try our best to make it work. This is shade 120 Buff, and it says it's a light buildable coverage foundation. So, and I'm looking at this now, this is only 0.75 fluid ounces. Typically in foundations, they're 1 fluid ounce. So this is less than typical foundation as far as the product you're gonna get. Because when I was looking at this, I'm like, this is pretty small. So you are getting less product with this, just to note that, than a typical foundation. So there is 2 pumps. Ooh, this is gonna be pretty light. Now I'm like, what do I do? Let's blend it out and let's see how light it looks. And if we can like salvage it with like some powder. At least if I blend it out, I'll be able to tell you guys like, you know, how it looks and stuff. It is definitely a lighter coverage, so it's kind of just like molding into my skin, so I feel like we probably will be able to make it work. It doesn't have like a funky scent or anything to it. Does it have SPF? No, so no SPF or anything, but no like funky scent. Sometimes drugstore foundations can kind of smell weird, like a little bit more chemically, I feel like, than higher end foundations, but sometimes higher end foundations can smell like that too. But this one has no scent, which I like. It did blend really flawlessly into my skin. This definitely is a little bit too light shade-wise for me, but with bronzer and everything, I think we'll be able to make it work because it really isn't like super full coverage. I'm really not seeing like overly glowiness from this though. I'm looking with an up-close mirror. Maybe a little bit. I would consider this more of like a natural finish, I think, if anything, because it says like Candid Glow, so you think it's going to be like this like dewy, glowy kind of situation, which is not what I would consider this. So you guys can see with 2 pumps, definitely you can still like see through my skin, like my redness and everything like that. So it's not going to give you a full coverage. I do think it looks nice on the skin if you want something subtle, something that's light coverage, and something that's going to feel hydrating. Like my skin feels nice. It doesn't feel tight. It does feel hydrating on the skin, but it's not giving me this overly like glowy, dewy finish either. So I would definitely say this is definitely more towards like a natural finish. And obviously the shade that I use is too light. So I'm going to jump in with another foundation that's a little bit deeper just to get my skin so that it matches my neck. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid just because this is also like a dewy, glowy foundation. So I'm going to just go in with a little bit of this and then another pump of the Revlon Candid and kind of mix them together just so we can kind of get it to match a little bit better, but also still see if we can like build up coverage. I normally never mix foundations, but in times when you have a foundation that doesn't match, this works. My skin definitely looks a lot glowier and dewier now. So the Maybelline one must be like a little bit more glowy because we're definitely glowing now. This still doesn't match that amazingly, to be honest. But we're not gonna quit now. We got too many more exciting things to try out. And this is what happens when you try stuff for the first time on camera. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Okay, so as far as the Candid Glow foundation goes, if you're looking for something that's very light coverage, that's gonna give you a natural finish, I think you might like this. For me personally, it's probably not something that I'm going to use very frequently. Maybe on like no makeup days or something, I might throw a little bit of this on, but I personally definitely prefer a bit more of coverage, and I would have liked to see it have a little bit more glowiness to it. It really is just like a natural finish in my opinion. Moving right along and keeping on the hydrating trend, this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer. So this is not brand spanking new, but so many of you guys have told me to try this. I tried out the foundation, so I wanted to give the concealer a try. So I got this in shade C4, and I purchased mine at Ulta. So we are just gonna go in. This is supposed to be full coverage, but hydrating instead of being matte, because most full coverage like concealers are normally matte. So let's see how this guy works. It definitely has like a Shape Tape vibe. I mean, Makeup Revolution's like whole shtick is basically like creating dupe products to other brands, so I'm pretty sure their inspiration for this was probably Shape Tape. Not the hydrating part, but like the concealer itself, because they do have like their regular one, which is not hydrating, so I think that one is really the Shape Tape dupe, but packaging and everything is very, very similar. So we're gonna go in and blend this out and see, is it good? Is it full coverage? Is it gonna crease? Because sometimes hydrating concealers like feel really nice, but then they're a creasy mess. So I hope that's not the case with this, but we shall see. It's gonna blend on my under eyes. Oh yeah, it actually is nice coverage. It's keeping its coverage very well, and it doesn't feel like drying or anything on the under eyes. I think it looks nice. I think it looks really nice. It blends it out really nice. My face looks really, really light now because the concealer was light too, but it blends it out really easily. It feels nice on my under eyes, at least on first impression, and it kept its coverage really, really well. Like it covered up my under eye circles and stuff, so I like it so far. But I will update the description box down below on how it lasts throughout the day and like if it creases on my under eyes, because again, sometimes hydrating concealers can really crease bad. So check down below in the description for that, but so far it looks pretty nice. All right, complexion is done. We're gonna move on to our brows. This product I really don't know about. It looks a little intimidating to me, but this is the Revlon Colorstay Brow Lights. So I have this in the shade Soft Brown. So basically it's kind of like what it says is supposed to be a balayage for your brows, so I'm like, okay. So there's like this little kabuki brush on one end, which you use to blend out the product, and then on the other end, there's two different colors. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there's like a lighter shimmer shade here, and then the regular color there. So you're supposed to basically go over your brows with it, and then buff it in with this, and it's supposed to give like a more natural gradient kind of a look to your brows. We'll see. I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can really see. So we're gonna see how this works. I was just looking online, and they actually have the lighter color towards the bottom, which I would have thought it would have been the opposite, but in the example they have on their website, the lighter color is on the bottom. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of go in. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, I'm gonna just blend with the kabuki a little bit. The color is like very like warm toned, which I don't love, if I'm being honest. I don't know about this. It also feels kind of like greasy, like I'm gonna put some on my finger and feel. Yeah, it's like a slippery kind of texture, which is interesting. Normally brow products aren't really like that. I'm gonna try and go in like with the corner of this just to like kind of define and see, like, will that work? Works okay. I feel like this product is more geared towards if you have like big kind of natural like bushy brows, which is so in right now, so I totally understand why they would create, you know, this product. And you really don't need much, you just kind of want to add a little something. Oh my god, I feel like this looks so bad. The color is just really off for me too. It's just so warm toned and it's not like what I'm looking for. But I feel like if you have a naturally like really bushy, like big brows and you just want like a little something, like this would be great to fill them in. I need more than that. Like my brows are, you know, not big, like they're relatively sparse, and I do need like something a little bit more, which is why I typically like to use like a fine tip kind of pencil to go in and do my brows, and I just feel like this is kind of a disaster. Like I don't like this. I have to go through with it though, so I'm gonna use it, but I wouldn't suggest, you know, if you like a little bit more defined brows and you don't have that definition naturally, I feel like this isn't gonna work for you. And if you want more cool toned, don't get soft brown, because it's definitely very, and like that glitter part is literally like leaving my brows looking glittery, which is weird. When you blend it with the little kabuki thing, it looks a little better, but I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like my brows look all sorts of crazy now. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go in with some concealer and try and kind of like sculpt them a little bit at least, so it's not like all sorts of crazy. This is just not, you know, how I normally do my brows. I like a lot more definition to them, and I'm not used to seeing them like this. So I'm gonna sculpt them out a little bit. Maybe once they're sculpted, I'll like it better, you know, if I'm using the concealer to sculpt them. It's better when they're sculpted because now at least this brow has a little bit more definition, where this brow is just like doing its own thing in its own world. Like at least this one is a little bit more sculpted, but yeah, this is not my favorite brow product. I feel like you have to do more work to get it to look, at least for me, the way I would want it to look. So this isn't going to be something that I will use again. I feel like this video is turning out to be a disaster. But you know what? That again, it's all part of the territory when you do videos where you're trying products for the first time on camera. So I'm not gonna just scrap the video because you guys should know. All right, we're gonna move on from these brows and we're gonna go on to the eyes, to hopefully a product that works well for us. So this isn't brand spanking new. This was part of the e.l.f. holiday collection, but I have not got around to be able to trying it yet. But these palettes are still available on e.l.f.'s website, I just checked. But this is the Hot Chocolate Everything Nice palette. So this is 15 different eyeshadow shades and they retailed for $10. And I thought it was really pretty. I like it. I've really been liking a lot of e.l.f.'s products recently. They're one of my favorite brands from the drugstore, at least as of recent. Like I really think they're coming out with great stuff at affordable prices, so I can't complain. So I figured we would use their palette today. So I'm first gonna jump in with this little neutral shade right here, and we're just gonna pop that into the crease. I think we're gonna do like a purpley eye today because there's a lot of purples in this palette. So I thought something like that would be pretty. They did come out with 3 of these kind of hot chocolate palettes. This one was my personal favorite, which is why I'm using this one today. I believe they came out with 3 in total. So far, pigment is looking good. I feel like eyeshadow is a big category that the drugstore has come really far in within the past couple years, because I remember when I was growing up, like you could definitely get like decent drugstore foundations, definitely nice drugstore mascaras, like a lot of really good products at the drugstore, lipsticks, but eyeshadow was something that was very hard to find that was like good at the drugstore. A lot of them were patchy and just not pigmented at all. And now I feel like these brands are really popping up and like creating like really good eyeshadows now, which is really great to see. It's no longer just like patchy and chalky like it used to be back in the day, you know, when I was a kid. I always make myself feel so old, but I'm really not that old. I'm only 26. Next, we're gonna pop in with this brighter purple. This is a matte shade. There is a mix of both mattes and shimmers in this palette. And I'm gonna work this into the crease to introduce that purple. I'm just going in with a little bit and then I can build up as necessary. I don't wanna go in with too much. This is pretty. I haven't done a purple eye look in a minute. I just did a pink kind of look in my ColourPop Sailor Moon video, which I'll link on the screen if you guys are interested and haven't seen that yet. But I did a really pretty pink eye with that, so I wanted to do purple today. And I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other eye, just buffing it back and forth into that crease and upper crease. All right, now to deepen up the eye, we're gonna jump in with this shade right here, and I'm gonna work that into this outer part of my eye. It's really not that much darker than the purple that we used already, but I'm gonna buff it in there. Just add a little extra depth and create that kind of V shape on the outer part of my eye. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I went in with more on this side and now I'm regretting it. I'm like, okay, that was too much, but it's okay. We're gonna blend it. And this might look a little messy now, but trust me, we're gonna clean up the eyelid and everything when we go in with the all over lid color, because I think I wanna go in with like a light purpley kind of shimmer lid, so stay with me, guys. And I am bringing that deeper color down beneath as well. I would tell you guys the name of the shadows, but they don't have names. Okay, because we're gonna be going in with a light color all over the lid, I am gonna clean up my lid a little bit with some concealer. So I'm just gonna go in again with that same concealer that we were using, and we'll just clean up the lid a little bit, just so that darker shade doesn't come through. Just kind of sculpting out the main part of my lid. And my hand moved and messed that up, so I'll fix that. Oh my gosh, today is just not my day, y'all. Okay, now we're gonna jump in with this beautiful sparkle shade. I'm gonna go in with my finger first. Looks really, really pretty. I'm gonna try and get it on most of the lid with my finger, and then we will go in with a brush for whatever we can't get. Ooh, this color is pretty. And then I'm just going in with a dampened flat top brush over what I already placed. And I am gonna bring it into my inner corner as well. And then just doing the same thing on the other lid. First going in with my finger, although honestly the shimmer was applying fine with the dampened flat top as well. Because with some shimmers you like literally don't get pigment unless you go in with your finger. This one isn't one of them. Like I am still getting pigment with the flat top. And now I am just gonna go back in that outer corner and just continue to add a little bit more so we still have that depth out there. And then jumping in with that same shimmer shade just right beneath my brow bone just to make that pop in there. And I did add a little bit, there's like a little bit of a white shimmer. Let me show you guys. This guy right here, I did add a little bit of that to the brow bone just to really make it pop. I don't have a new liner, so I'm just gonna pop in with the ColourPop gel liner and exit. This is my favorite waterline liner. This is in my ColourPop bundle. It's my fave. We're not gonna do any liner on top because we're gonna try a new mascara. And I feel like a lot of times when I use liner, I can't tell like if my natural lashes look good or not because it kind of covers it up. So we're gonna be trying the new Bambi Eye mascara from L'Oreal. This looks really promising. This is what the wand looks like. So it is a bigger wand. I am gonna grab a lash curler to curl my lashes a little bit. So just lifting them up a bit before we try the mascara. I do have a waterproof version as well. This is just the regular version that I'm gonna go in with and see. My natural lashes are not very nice right now. Thank you to lash extensions for damaging them, but we're gonna try and make them look good. I think it's actually working pretty well. It's not a super like wet mascara. It's more of like a moussey kind of texture, a little bit thicker, which I personally like. I feel like a lot of times that just helps to build volume, at least for me. I always feel that way. Like a lot of times when mascaras are too liquidy, I feel like they just don't do anything. So this one does actually seem to be pretty nice. And you guys know normally, you know, I do falsies, but I figured today we would test out this mascara without it because I feel like, you know, you can't really see if a mascara is good if you're wearing falsies. So that's 2 coats on both of my eyes. I think it looks really nice. I'm gonna try now and go in on my lower lashes. It can be a little difficult with big wands like this to really get in there and get them. It seems to be working pretty well. Pro tip too, if you guys get any mascara like on your lower lash line when you're applying your mascara, let it completely dry and then just go in with a Q-tip and it'll come right off. It's when you try and wipe it off with a Q-tip while it's still wet that it's gonna smear and then it's not gonna work. But I'm not really having any issues with this one, even though it's a bigger wand. All right, eyes are done, so we're gonna go in and bronze up the skin. So I have this new bronze palette from Essence, and this is their matte bronzing powder palette. Actually, JK, we're gonna be using these to contour when we contour because they're all matte. We're gonna jump into this palette now. Now this is also new. This is from Physicians Formula, and this is their new Butter Collection collab with Wei Li. Super, super beautiful. So we're gonna be using the blushes, which are limited edition. I believe they created them for this palette. So we're gonna use the blushes today, but we're also gonna use these bronzers as our all over bronzer because they do have a little bit of shimmer to them. These are their regular butter bronzers. So there's the butter bronzer and then the sunset bronzer. I'm gonna go in with the sunset bronzer just to do a little all over bronze. Ooh. Today's tutorial is literally a disaster. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're gonna make it work, you guys. Oh. You guys may never even see this video because it has been an absolute disaster, but I feel like I should upload it to show you guys. Oh, dang. Okay, so this is a deeper bronzer. I didn't see that. It says deep bronzer up here, like in tiny little letters right there. I didn't see that. It's okay. We're gonna blend it out. So I went in with way too much. That was totally my own fault. We're about to be contoured and chiseled today though, for sure. Oh my goodness. Just gonna go in with a powder brush. Kind of work some of that off. I think it also like shows up a lot again because my face was a bit lighter today because of the foundation, the color not being right. But if you have deeper skin, it's amazing because it's going to be deep enough to work on you for sure. And if I went in with the correct amount, only a little bit, it would have been fine for me as well, but I just went in with too much. But I feel like that actually doesn't look too bad. All right, jumping back into the Essence palette, I still want to try it. I am gonna go in with the second lightest shade to just contour a little tiny bit. I'm actually gonna mix together the lightest and the second lightest, just a tiny bit to sculpt out those cheekbones. And we'll blend this too. See, people always comment, they're like, you can put whatever on your face and it'll look good. Like, no, I have bad makeup days as well. And today is one of them. But it's all about just making it work, you know? And then just jumping with the lightest shade in that bronzing palette just to sculpt out my nose. That's actually a good shade for my nose, the lightest one. For blush, we're gonna jump back into the Physicians Formula palette. So there's an apricot and a wildflower. I think wildflower probably goes a little bit better with the eye look I have today, so I'm gonna use that one. So I'm just gonna go with a little bit and we can build it up as needed. This is very pretty, actually. I like this shade. And I don't think we're gonna need to build it up because I already got enough going on. So if you do get this palette, just know that it is very pigmented. So you don't need to go in with a lot, which is a good thing. Okay, for our highlight, we're gonna go in with the new Revlon Prismatic Highlight. This is from the Skin Lights collection. I tried the bronzer and I really liked it. So I have high hopes for the highlight. And the shade on this is 202 Twilight Gleam. So we are gonna go in with her and highlight our cheeks. Ooh, very pretty. Yay! Ooh, I love that. Beautiful golden glow. Yes. The rest of the products on our face might seem a little crazy, but this one is so pretty. I like this highlight. This is really nice. You guys know I love like gold toned highlighters, and this is very, very beautiful and can definitely be built up and be like really blinding. Like that's really, really pretty. Or you can just use a little of it and not like bathe in it like I am and do a little bit more of a subtle glow, but this is really, really pretty. I really like this line from Revlon, the Skin Lights line. The bronzer I liked, I like this. The products are really nice and like glowy and pretty. For our lips, I wanted to do a bit of a deeper lip today, so I figured we'd use one of the new ColourPop Luxe liquid lipsticks. This is in the shade Southbound. So I'm gonna go in on my lips with this. Yes, I love this like wine color. So pretty. And I have really been liking the new liquid lipstick formula from ColourPop, the new like Luxe Velvet. It's really nice. Alright you guys, so that is everything. We definitely had some mishaps today, but overall I don't hate the look that we created. I really liked the mascara. The concealer still looks really, really good. As I said, I will keep you guys updated in the description box, but so far the concealer is an A+. And yeah, you know, not everything always goes as planned, but I still like the look that we were able to create. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!